Hi. Okay, let's continue last week's discussion from control and love and control. And first of all, I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of background. When I am channeling the guardians of the light, I am in this altered, expanded state of awareness, and much of what they have to say makes complete sense in this expanded awareness. And so most of the times I don't ask a lot of questions when they're giving me the information. I do ask questions sometimes, but most of the time it makes complete sense what they're saying. And then I come out of this state of awareness, and a couple hours later I will read what I have just channeled, like what's come through, and I'm thinking, right, to someone who has not experienced that state of awareness, this might not completely make sense. There might be things that are missing. So that's why I thought this is the perfect opportunity to talk about what they have channeled and what I am putting out every single day on my Insta and on Facebook, and to expand on it even more and expand on what their thoughts are and kind of everything that they download at the beginning of the month for the entire month's channeling. So that's what we're going to do. And today I'm going to go through from the 4th through the 8th. I'm going to read to you what they've said. And then as I was rereading it right before doing this, I made a bunch of notes going, oh yeah, I remember thinking that and feeling that during the channeling. Okay, July 4th. What is it, dear ones, you think you need to control? Is it through fear? Is it through lack? Dear ones, fear and control are false bedfellows. We encourage you, dear ones, to see that in your life which you think you have control. Look at the areas of your life in which you desire to control. How does this serve you? Is control serving you? Are you really in control? And we say to you, dear ones, you are not and you are. For you are part of this universe. You are part of all that is. Dear ones, only God is in control, and you are part of God. Therefore, you are also in control. Yet we tell you, your soul knows that which you need. Dear ones, you falsely think your life is under control. We say to you, you will always have free will. You have the free will to choose to control or not. And so that one sounds a little bit contradictory. So I want to come back to that one and talk about it, because I am literally just channeling what I'm hearing. Also, when I refer to God, replace that with what your higher power is. Replace it with whom you call your higher power. I just use God. That's what comes through. Okay, how are you evolving this month with love and control? Yep, okay. How are you evolving with love and control? So when they say, the very first one that I read, is it through fear or through lack? Do you feel like you're afraid that there's not enough and so you have to control? I was just writing my newsletter for the week, and I remember when I wrote in my book, I remember the feeling that came up when I realized I had been subconsciously controlling my output of love because I thought there was only so much that I would give, and if I gave everything I had, I would have nothing left for myself. Like it would all be gone. And that was such an amazing awakening for me to realize, oh my gosh, I have been holding on to so much of this love and not allowing it to flow freely out of me, even to my children, because I thought there was only so much love because I couldn't feel. I could not feel all the love around me, which then made me believe that there was only so much to go around. So because of that instance that I had in my childhood that you know, because you've read my book, that made me think that there was, in my unconscious mind, that there was only so much love to go around and that I wasn't worthy of love and all of the other beliefs that I formed in that moment. So if I gave my love away, I wouldn't have enough for myself. And if I wasn't going to love me, who was? Because remember, at the time, I couldn't feel all this love that people were giving me. So I was controlling. Do we control our love because we think someone doesn't deserve it? Some people just don't deserve it. Or maybe we think some people just deserve a little bit of it because they've done a couple of bad things in their life, so they just deserve a little bit of our love. Do we control it in that way? Do we use it with our children? Do we think that we need to have our children be afraid of us? Is that how we control our love? And do we control the amount of love that comes in because we think that we are unworthy and we're afraid to actually feel all that love? Okay, we talked about that last time, so let's move on. Do you look at the areas? Oh, have you? Have you looked at the areas that we think we need to control and why? So we talked about this last week, and I really want to dip into this. I really want you to look at the areas that I've just named, and even in the comments below, tell me about the other areas that you feel like you've got to control and why. Like, what has come up for you on, oh, I found this area. This is exactly why I feel like I need to control it. So long ago, when my husband and I first started therapy, I remember thinking, well, I love you, but you've done a lot of this stuff to me. Again, I was so in such a different place than I am now, but I remember thinking, you've done these things to me, so you only deserve this portion of my love. And I wonder how many of us do the same thing with our love. That is controlling that output of love. All right. Why? Oh, yeah. Why do we need this control? So if you've got different answers than I've been talking about, why? Here's what I would love for you to do. Ask yourself, why do I need to control this love? And then once you've gotten the answer, ask again. Okay, and why? And then when another layer of that answer comes in, okay, and why? And I want you to just keep going with this. Keep going until you get to the very bottom of, you either come up with, I don't know, I just don't know anymore. And I want you to make sure that I don't know isn't just a cop-out to stop doing this exercise. I want you to get to the bottom of, oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore why I need to control. So keep asking that same question and journal it. Write it down maybe so that you can see that, journaling helps you document that process so that you can see, oh, this is where I started and this is where I ended. Because a lot of times when I'm not journaling or writing it down, even on my laptop, and I will write it down because a lot of times for me, it's a faster way and I can get it out quicker than writing it down. So I get it and I write it all down or type it all out. Then I can actually remember where I started, and it's a really interesting process from start to finish. So just keep asking yourself, and why do I need to control that? Well, because blah, 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 blah. Okay, and why do I need to control that? And then answer it. And then why do I need to control that? So just keep going, layer after layer after layer. Okay. Through our numbing, numbing is a form of our control. Through our numbing, we think we are in control. So whatever your go-to numbing things are. Whether you are a people pleaser, which is numbing, whether you have different kinds of ways, shopping, eating, drinking, whatever that numbing thing is. That's Bella. She's trying to nap and I'm talking. Whatever that numbing piece is, what is it that you're trying to control with that? What is it that you don't want to face? What is it that you're trying to keep at a distance, like at arm's length? What is it that you don't want to feel? So numbing is also a way of controlling, which is really interesting when you think about it, because you think it would be the opposite, and it's not. So how is your numbing, in whatever fashion that might show up as? And it might show up differently every single day. It might show up differently week to week. It might be that this week we're doing it this way because we don't want to feel this. This week we might do it this way. Sometimes I still, when I'm not sure exactly what kind of a conversation that I want to have with my husband, like if we're on the fence about something, or we're having a disagreement about something, and I'm just kind of hanging out with what I want to say and how I want to say it. Not quite sure how I want to present it. Apologies for the noise outside. I will go inward and not be as outward as I usually am. And it will take him to say, is everything okay? And I realize that I'm sort of trying to control that situation still, in a way that, yes and no. I'm not ready to talk about it because I'm still processing. But in saying that, I feel like there's some sort of control mechanism that I'm probably using potentially to manipulate. That could totally be there. In saying that, I feel like it's both sometimes. I feel like maybe I am wanting to manipulate somehow, and I feel like I'm really present with just like, okay, I'm not ready to talk about it, because most of the time that's what I will say is, I'm not ready to talk about it yet. I'm still thinking. I'm still processing. I still am trying to figure this out for myself. Silence can also be used as manipulation, because I used to do that all the time. I used to control the situations by not talking, which left him in the dark, which made him squirm. Maybe that's your control. Maybe that's your way of keeping the situation exactly where you want it. Maybe that's your control of love. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know how this sits with you. Let me know if any of this, what of this has landed, and what are your go-to pieces of control. I'll see you next time.